Okay, so I'm so excited to have her on. I was like, how do I say your name? I'm just gonna call her Shay because I'm gonna say it wrong because there's no A. I'm so excited to have you on. You have all over the world on this team right now. We have Denmark just because they just don't sleep. My Denmark team is on here and she's super excited. I know it because what time is it there, Christina? Like 2 a.m. or something? Middle of the night. Okay, so everybody, listen. She is a rock star. She is going pres this month. I just found out how close she is. She's only 20 years old. Her whole team, literally nobody on her team is above 24, which is absolutely crazy. And so I was on a Zoom with her not too long ago, and I was listening to her story, and ever since I've been kind of like watching her and her hustle. And so if you guys, everybody's pretty familiar with you, but if you could just kind of start with your story and how you got started, far you've come and some of your struggles along the way, but don't hold back your spunky little attitude, because I remember the first Zoom I watched of you and I was like, this girl will tell you exactly how she feels. So let me unmute you because I made everybody muted. Okay, go for it.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so hi, I am Sheyenne Knox. I just turned 20 a couple of weeks ago, and I'm about to go pres. I joined this business in the very end of 2016, so in December. And that was actually my Christmas break from my senior year of high school. So I was scrolling across Instagram, came across my upline, who is Courtney Bohr. I saw her like long, beautiful, luscious hair on Instagram, and I was like, ooh, girl, like, what are you doing? And she was standing in front of her brand new car. So I messaged her, just kind of asked her a couple questions, and I went into the kitchen and said, hey, Dad, I need $99 because I didn't have any money. I was in high school. And so my dad's very red and like money motivated, just like me. And he was like, oh, if you can make that much, then why not? And so he gave me his card. Like, I thank my dad for this every day. And so I got started and I took off. Like, I just saw this business as being like so simple. I was like, oh, get my friends to make some money and help people lose weight. Why not? And so my first month I went executive. My second month I went Ruby with the $500 bonus. That's really all I wanted it for, was the $500. And then my fourth month I went Emerald, and month 5 I went Diamond. And it was 3 days after I had walked across the stage as I graduated high school. I got the $5,000 bonus and was making $2,000 a month at 18. And so with that, I was able to completely buy everything in my dorm. I paid all of my tuition for my freshman year, my first semester, without having to pull out any loans or anything. I got to pay, I took over my car payment at that time. So my car payment was like a lump sum of like $540 because I was trying to pay it off quick. And I just took over the payment from my dad and not having to ask him to do it anymore. I got to pay for gas. I spent $964 on textbooks the first day of college because what the heck? I don't know why that happened, but I was very upset about it, but I could do it. And so I moved into school. And as soon as I moved into school, I lost rank. And I was like, wait, where did my $2,000 paycheck go? What's going on? And I dropped all the way down to executive. So I not only just barely lost rank, I like bottomed out to the ground and smacked the concrete. Okay. So I basically lost all of my team because I had gone from high school students who would rather party and get drunk in college, and I was trying to make $1 million, and we were not on the same page. So I completely rebuilt my team, pulled up the people from the depths of wherever they were and pulled them up and was like, let's go. And so in March, I went double diamond. So it was a month or so before I took finals for my freshman year, and went double and was not even thinking about triple. I didn't even think triple would ever happen for me because I was like, okay, this is getting up to where like the unicorns are and I'm not one of them. So I was just, working. I left school for the summer, and in July, this past July, I went triple and got the $15,000 bonus. And I just started my sophomore year of college, and I quit school on the second day of school. It was a really like hard and scary decision. I haven't announced it because I don't plan on it, but I just, tell people a part of my story. I just decided that, most people see this business in a different timeline in their life. Most people that are in this business are, kind of older, they're married, have kids. That's just kind of the way that this company has been. And I love that my team has kind of got to join. And when I started, there weren't really a lot of young people in it. And then Cassie's team, she's number 2. She's brought a whole new young crowd too. And so I really pride myself in being able to show people that, you don't have to start your life in debt. I'm 100% debt free, except for my car that I get to pay off in a few months. Everything I've been able to pay for because of this business. And I'm just almost barely 20 years old. And I haven't had to ask my parents for a single penny since I started. I've been able to give them money. There's been plenty of times where, you know, my dad's like my best friend. I don't know if y'all follow me on social media, but I post about him like every day. And he has been really struggling in his job this year. And I've been able to pay for things with him. And that was like the defining moment of where, okay, this business can truly change your life, and it's not just about the money. And that's when I started loving on my team more. I started caring more about what I was doing. I knew that it wasn't just about me. It was about being able to change the course of my family's future. It wasn't just mine. And so instead of, buying a house and paying off my mortgage and buying, my kids' stuff, I'm getting to save for my future family. It's just a different timeline than most people have, as most of people in this business are not 20 years old and triple. So I've just been able to save, and I surpassed a huge number in my savings account when we got paid a couple of days ago. And that's really my story. Now I'm about to go presidential and change a bunch of people on my team's life because we're about to earn $100,000 in bonuses.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. So, and so I want to just touch on this a little bit. Well, I know that we're going to talk about it, but you have this mindset, and you put it online a lot too. But like, you guys, can you just kind of talk about how that you didn't have a support system, like how you had a lot of haters? And I hear you. I mean, I see your little like jabs all the time online, and I love them. But can you just kind of explain to everybody, like, not only did you have hate, guys, she was in high school. So can you kind of just explain that, and along the road, kind of like how you put that out there? Because what I think you kind of do is like this anti-bullying thing where you're like, people are going to talk shit, so what? And you put that out there all the time. So can you kind of explain like how you didn't have support?
Yeah. So when I started, I'm a pretty like bold person when it comes to anything. So I think anybody else in my position wouldn't have lasted. I've just always been that way. So I literally got made fun of every second of every day. Like, high school students are assholes. That's literally all it is. Everyone's so mean. It's always competition on who looks better that day, who has the most expensive things. It's literally like that all the time. And so I did something that was completely different than what anybody had ever done in high school. And so none of them could even wrap their heads around what I was doing. So they automatically started, being hateful to me about it. And it did hurt my feelings. Obviously, I'm human, and it did hurt me. But instead, I was like, you know what? If I fail at this, can you imagine how many people I'm proving right? No. So that literally, I swear, when I got started, that I didn't have a why when I got started. I was just wanting money so that I could go shopping and buy more shoes. That's literally it, because I was in high school. I didn't have any goals or anything yet. And so that was my why, is I was not going to fail and let all of these assholes I went to high school with try and tell me that they were right. So when I walked across the stage, literally people were like yelling, "It works, girl," like, "Maybe you need a rap," like stuff like that all the time. And anytime I posted pictures on Instagram, they would comment hateful things on the bottom of it that I'd have to delete all the time. And they would post on my wall. Like, it was just ridiculous all the time. And anywhere I went, like, they would see me down the hallway. I'm almost 6 foot tall, so you can't miss me. Walk down the hallway and they'd be like, "Oh, rap girl, like, are you making any money?" At that time I was making like $100 as an executive. And I was like, heck yeah, I am. But I never let them win. And that's why I'm here. I still get crap all the time, especially now that I'm literally about to make $20,000 a month. They can't keep my name out of their mouth. Always on Twitter, all the time. They make like stupid puns on Twitter, and they're like, "At least I don't have to sell wraps to make money," like stuff like that all the time. Yeah, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me as hurt my feeling. It pisses me off. Like, literally just makes me so mad, because I'm like, you're bullying me. Like, and it's always the people that'll sit there and be like, "Oh, well, love wins," and like being super supportive, and then it comes to me and suddenly I'm in a different category, and it's always at the expense of me. So their opinions don't matter. They're not going to pay your bills ever. I always say that on my posts and stuff, just because I don't want them to think like, oh, they can just sit there and talk bad about me and I'm not going to say anything, because I'm not one to like back down and not stand up for myself. So I always just say stuff like that, and I let people know when they're young. I'm like, yeah, people are going to have something to say, but like, who cares? Not me. I don't care. And so still to this day, people make fun of me, but a lot of people support me in more of a way because I feel like they respect me. And I've always this is kind of off topic, but I've always just, represented myself as, more mature and older, because I knew when I started, I'm 18. I have a lot of odds against me because a lot of people are not going to see me as like, oh, a professional businesswoman. And I was like, how can I attract people that are not going to say, oh, let me ask my mom? I didn't want that anymore. I was like, I need people that can like pull out their card and be like, yeah, I want to buy the cleanse, because I was so sick of hearing, I need to ask my parents. So I just started, presenting myself as more mature and not talking about, and I've never drank, I've never partied, I've never done any of that. So that also helped with making sure that like what my content was mature. But I've always, tried to just hold myself to where I could fit myself into that older category and, attract people that were not so young, or people that would be like, no, I just care too much about what people say. So if you're dealing with that, I'm the number one person that deals with that, because I dealt with high school students and college students, and my very best friend from my entire life, I have blocked her on all social media because she literally she favorites everything. She told me that I annoyed her and she blocked me on Instagram, and so I blocked her on everything. We haven't talked. So that hurt. I cried for about 48 hours and I moved on, but it's going to happen. People just cannot wrap their head around this, but one day network marketing is going to be the norm, and I can't wait to be a part of that movement. So
I can't believe you just said that, because I don't know if you know my story about one of my top 3 best friends that blocked me on social media when I joined, and I'm still blocked to this day, but we text all the time. But she's like, I don't want to see you in your stuff. And she's like, don't even talk to me until you're making $60,000 a month about it works. I'm like, okay, well, it's going to happen one day. But, and don't you feel like that you actually, do you think that there was a turning point in your business, especially in the beginning when you were like, when people were like poking at you, where you realized that you had to get uncomfortable to like go higher? And because something you said is, I can't fail because they win. And I say this to myself every single day almost, get comfortable getting uncomfortable, or go fail somewhere else. Yeah. Because you will fail if you don't get comfortable getting uncomfortable. Okay, so let's get into questions. And I kind of already know the answer to this question because of your post the other day on the Lifers page, which I had no idea, because Instagram is like a whole other world to me. I'm like, whoa. So do you work your business more through Facebook or Instagram, and why?
Okay, so when I first started, for like the first, I would probably say, even past I went diamond, it was only Facebook, because it was all my warm market. I didn't really touch Instagram because I didn't understand it, and Instagram didn't have stories then. We didn't have polls. It was literally just your post. So your post had to be really freaking bomb if it was going to get any results. So I just did Facebook. Then around the time I was going double, I got into host to post because Rachel Jones talked about it, and that's how I enrolled over 60 customers. I didn't message a single time that month, like not a cold message whatsoever. It was all host to post, and so that's what took me to double. Then Facebook algorithms started happening, and it was like, bam, why are none of my host to posts getting any comments? What is this? Because all the comments I got for going double, there was like 60 comments on every host to post, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. They don't really do that anymore. You have to really, really work really hard to get a lot of results with them, just because Facebook and Instagram hate us. That's fine. So I kind of made that switch from Facebook to Instagram past the point of double, because I'd kind of really blown out my warm market on Facebook, and I was never adding people, and I regret that, because I was just like, oh, I have 2,000 friends. That's great. That's enough. But I was never adding people. And so now I've gotten into doing that. I post every single day on Facebook. I still like go live. I'm a live queen. I go live all the time. And so I do that, but Instagram is primarily where all of my enrollments come from, and it's all from my Instagram story, and then some from messaging. So I work it all with Instagram. I just do a live post every single day on my Instagram, no matter what. So it's like a selfie or like a picture with my friends or whatever. And I always talk about the business, always, every single day. And so I'll talk about whether it be bonuses, or some of them are just inspirational quotes, like, or me ranting about people being haters. It's never, it's just always different. So I do that on Instagram, and then on my story, I blow it up. And a lot of people are nervous about blowing it up because they're like, oh, well, people get annoyed. If they're annoyed, they're just going to keep watching. So it doesn't matter anyways. If they want to see it, they'll watch it. And my views like barely go down. And I'm very like on that when I watch it, just because I want to make sure that what I'm posting is good. If it's not, I'll know, because the numbers keep dropping each time you click through it. So I make sure that I use Unfold. Unfold is a game changer. It looks super classy, super clean. That's an awesome app. I don't know if it's for Android, but if you don't have an iPhone, you need to get one. And then I use Word Swag to make all of my like welcome pictures, any like cute quotes. I put quotes on my stories a lot because I have a lot of people that, just like, oh my gosh, I needed this today. So it's just being encouraging and not just a rap girl, because that's not what I want to be known for. So then I use PixArt. So if I ever want to put like a loyal customer thing on top of a picture, or if I want to post, just like whatever, I use PixArt, Word Swag, and Unfold for all of my stories. I'm sure y'all have seen them because they're like all over the place. So I'll post like keto coffee, like I'll make a video on Snapchat. Oh, also I use Cut Story. It's for Snapchat videos. So I'll make a long Snapchat of me doing my skincare, and then I'll put it on fast forward, and then I'll go to Cut Story, and it cuts it into 15-second videos that fit on Instagram perfectly. And I'll put them on unfolds, and it shows like my skincare routine. And so they're 15 seconds of me going through like washing my face, putting on the Preventage or whatever. And so that just shows like how easy the products are to use. And that's been a complete game changer. Like this morning, I have this little picture of the keto coffee and chocolate greens. And then here's a video of it being mixed. So it shows how simple it is. And then the next one is just me holding the cup, but it's what, I don't know if you can see that, it's probably really bright and I'm looking stupid right now. So I put it on unfold, and there's, that's my boyfriend, nope, this one. Okay, so I put like little words, and the captions and like the fonts are super cute. So instead of me just typing random Instagram words that look super tacky and putting the highlighted pink on it that nobody wants to see, that's the thing. We're social media network marketers. We have to put out visually appealing content. You can't just put out crappy smack that nobody wants to look at, because I mean, honestly, sometimes I see things and I'm like, did they even look at what they posted? And it's like, it sucks because it's really hard to tell your team like, hey, what you're posting is awful. But you have to have the conversation, because you're doing that as tough love. It's like, hey, your posting's not that great, but we're going to make it better. And then your business is going to explode and you'll love me later. So I just make sure that I always teach my team like what I'm doing that's working, my team knows about it. So if it's an app that's like super awesome, that's what I'm doing. So Instagram stories, all day, every day, and put a like thing of action. So swipe up and type coffee, swipe up and enter VIP spot, whatever. Post stuff like that so that people know when they swipe up to what to say. And then highlights, y'all. I got 2 customers off my highlights randomly today. So I have like keto, when I did keto in February a long time ago, but I have a ton of keto coffee results on there and stuff. My stories on one of them, money, where I post like because I video when all my girls promote, and so I always put their video on the story. I have inspire, which is where I put all those really cute quotes on, and then I have which is my boyfriend. So I just put highlights on there. And this is just like going off of me using Instagram on something that I swear is the number one reason that I enroll is our good job is to build relationships. It's like, it's kind of hard because it's over social media, and building a relationship with someone can literally just be like, hey, this shirt's cute. And they're like, hey, thanks. Bam. They know who you are. So when you message them, they're like, oh, wow, I know this girl. I pick today, if you don't have anything on your Instagram that explains you, pick today multiple things that you love. Mine is cactus. I have cactus everything. My whole room, it looks like cactus threw up. I love TJ Maxx. I go there probably daily, and I talk about it all the time. Those 2 things, I swear, have got me more customers than anything, because people will send me pictures of things they see in the store, and they're like, oh, found this cactus mug. And so we're building that relationship because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking of Sheyenne. And so they know that I sell wraps, but I'm also a normal human, and I like the things that they like too. So when they message me, or when I message them, they're like, oh, I know this girl. She's that girl that's obsessed with cactus, or she's that girl that sells wraps, or whatever. They're associating me with something else other than just saying, oh, she sells It Works. I don't ever want that. So brand yourself is so important, especially just because there's there's not a lot of It Works distributors, but there's a lot of good ones, and a lot of people can come across others. You have to be different. And so that's just the biggest thing. It's just Instagram stories, making sure you go live on Facebook. I'm kind of a middle of both. Lives get me a lot of customers because I kind of get on there and I talk about my life. I'm like, went to TJ Maxx today, bought a coffee mug, like, I don't know. And I'm not just getting on there and saying like, this is the keto coffee. I'm making it and they're watching me what I'm doing, but I'm talking about like what I did in my life that day. So those are probably the things I do on both.
And I love that you said we're visually appealing network marketers, okay? Because me and Chantel were LOLing at each other because listen, you youngins have all these new apps. And like everything changes every 3 years, okay? And like back in the day, word swag, green, like I'm telling you, like we're like evolving. And like she literally yelled at me like a month ago. She's like, you have to stop using word swag. We are using Canva now. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she was right, because my work swag looked back. But I'm also the girl that I need to start working on Instagram, but I'm also the one that uses the pink highlighter stuff. And you just, and now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no. That's so funny. Okay, so what does your daily routine look like? Do you have like kind of a system in place of what you do every single day?
Yeah, so now that I'm no longer a busy, crazy college student, when I was in college, so if you are busy, don't have a schedule. Just do it like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and you'll get used to that. I feel like so many people when they're busy, they're like, oh my gosh, well, they're messaging 150 people a day. I can't do that. Do what you can. Like, as long as you go to bed every single night and you know, okay, I'm getting this done. I did all of this and that's all, that's fine. But now that I don't have a busy schedule, it was a transition. Okay. I know that when I was busy, I got a lot more stuff done because I knew I had 5 minutes to do it. Now that I don't have school and I just do this full time, I wake up every morning. I set an alarm at 9 because I am not a morning person, and I knew that if I didn't, I would sleep half the day. So I set an alarm at 9 every single morning. I respond to all my text messages with my team, check in with people that are promoting, and just say, like, talk about their goals, like what they're doing that day. And then I will get up and go make keto coffee on my story every day, all the time. I post about my coffee on Facebook, a picture of it. There's never a day where you can't go on my Instagram and say like, oh, how she didn't drink her coffee today, because it's not true. So I post about my coffee every single day, like posting about one product that you love. If you don't like coffee and you don't drink it, I don't know why, but if you like keto energy or you like the greens, post about it every single day. And so I do that, make my coffee, take my picture, and then I post on Instagram anywhere from noon to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's kind of what I found with like algorithms on how they kind of work, but you're never going to win because they're always changing. So I post on Instagram once a day, and then every single night is when I post my Instagram stories, because what I want is for people to wake up in the morning and watch them all together. So I don't want them, because if they watch it in the morning and then they don't get on Instagram stories again that day, they're going to miss everything that I posted for the rest of the day. So obviously I do post throughout the day. Like if I make my coffee that morning, or if I find a cute quote, I'll post it. But majority, all of the like before and afters and the, video, I make a lot of videos of me talking. Like today I posted one and said like, hey, I have 20 spots and 20 codes, blah, blah, blah on Snapchat. It's personal. It's like a group. It's like a little FaceTime because they see my face. I'm looking at their face and I'm like, hey, join for $20. It's like super personal. I use Cut Story for that too, to make them 15 seconds, but I post all of those at night. So when somebody wakes up and they click my story, they're seeing everything that I posted. And like I said, if they want to see it, they'll watch it. If they don't, they'll swipe through and there's nothing to do about that. And then I go live on Facebook probably every other day, whether it's making coffee or talking about my story or talking about, whatever. I wish I had more of a life. I wish I had like kids running around or like a house or something that I can talk about, but I don't. I'm just a normal 20-year-old living in an apartment that literally just sells wraps all day. So it's hard to just talk about life. But if you do like have kids or you do something else, talk about that. Like people want to see reality. They want to see like what you do. So if you get on there and your hair's in a top knot and you look like a mess and your kids are screaming and you're talking about your life, that's more relatable than you not doing it at all. So one day I'll find something cool enough about my life to do that. But typically all my lives are about the business. And I post on Facebook 3 times a day. I post something funny so that I can get interaction, because anytime somebody reacts to something, you're getting more engagement. I post either that or something that requires a lot of comments. I post whatever I post on Instagram separately on my Facebook. I don't post it from Instagram to Facebook because then algorithms are whack. So you have to post them separately. And then what else do I do? Well, now that I'm promoting, I calculate my volume every day from what I got that day and do my little chart up here on the wall and calculate all that. And then just like update my team and say like, hey, like what'd you get done today? Like, what did you not do? What do you need to do? Like I'm a very face-to-face person. I'm that leader that's like randomly FaceTiming people like, hey, popping in, what you doing? Because I'm a very like face-to-face person. Because if I'm not, like I do work Zooms. I've been on work Zoom like every day since October 1st. But I always do just random power hours. And if people don't get on, I'm like, they're not working. They quit. They're done, because I can't see them face to face. I'm really bad about that. But I literally will just rant. Like if someone's not working or I haven't heard from them in a long time, I'm not going to text and be like, hey, how's it going? Because they're not going to respond. They're not doing anything. So I just randomly FaceTime them and I'm like, hey, you're not working. What's wrong? Like that's just me. So I do a lot. I spend a lot of time in the day doing that and just messaging and like talking to people and FaceTiming and stuff. And then I message 10 people every hour, just because that gets out 100 people. I don't get blocked on Instagram, because you get blocked on Instagram very, very easy. And then if y'all don't know what Captivate is, I don't know how you work your business because Captivate is the bomb. I add to my Captivate cloud every single night and post on my story at the same time. And I've been changing it up. Like I follow Instagram bloggers because if you follow really, really pretty girls, you're going to end up following a lot of guys that I don't care about following. If you follow like sorority girls, that's going to happen also. If you follow like boutiques and stuff, it's like a random, they use like the app to get likes and stuff a lot of times for boutiques because they want, you know, to get their likes up. So you end up following a bunch of like Chinese pages and weird things. So I found that following bloggers and like who likes their pictures and following those people, if people follow bloggers only promote stuff. So those people are going to be willing to buy all of their cute bags and cute shoes. So they're going to be willing to buy my products. That's just that's what I manifest and that's what I say. So I follow a lot of bloggers or like a lot of people that follow bloggers and go through their likes and stuff. And that's how I get that. And I message my new followers every single day. And then just the engagement I get from my stories. Hope that answered your question. I kind of talk a lot.
No, it totally did. I'm old. Man, I'm trying to tell her like, oh, we're old. No, Captivate. I have never used Captivate, so I'm going to use Captivate. Man, I am just not on Instagram. I'm such a Facebook person. But all right, so you kind of already talked about like I was going to ask you like what are your current like things for algorithm. My team totally knows like a bunch of stuff about Facebook algorithm, but you kind of already answered the question a little bit for the Instagram algorithm. I love that you said so if you're posting during the day, like what I wanted to say even before I went there is that she posts about keto coffee every day. Guys, there is power behind consistency. And if this is something that she can't live without, she's showing that every single day to all of her networks. Like I can't live without it. Like I'm doing it every single day. And I highly recommend doing that because I can even see that from my downline when girls that are just posting about keto energy every single day, they're always enrolling keto energy customers, always. So picking one product at least where you're like, you should have a product that you can't live without every single day. I have multiples. I can't live without keto coffee. I'm actually drinking some right now, but I don't post about it every single day and I need to. And that's something that I just wrote down that I'm going to do for sure. But you said Instagram algorithm. So if you post like a video during the day of like keto coffee, do you like delete it and then like repost it at the nighttime? I love that you say like you post everything at night. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't post product posts on my Instagram feed unless it's like coffee on my counter and I've edited it. I use Lightroom presets. It was $15, $14.99 or something. Totally worth it. Like your Instagram game goes up. Like I had so many people just messaging me and they're like, your Instagram looks great. And I'm like, want to buy coffee? So I just, making changes like that, like I said, you have to be visually appealing. Like no one's going to come to your Instagram and be like, oh, that's a wrap. If people see like you holding up a pack of wraps now, that used to be great a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago, but now people don't want to see that. They want to see you. They want to see that you're using these products and not necessarily like, hey, here's my hair, skin, and nails. Want to buy some? They don't want that. That's not how it is anymore. It sucks, but that's not the way it is. So I post on my story every single night with products that I'm using. This is another thing. I try to stick to one product a week. I post about my keto coffee every day, but like for that week, I'll post about hair, skin, and nails and collagen and make it like a duo. And then like the next week after that, I'll talk about skincare like heavily because skincare is like my favorite things that we have. Like I love it more than keto coffee. Our skincare is my favorite. And so I talk about skincare for a whole week. I make videos of just how easy it is that I use it. I post that it's like, oh, it's in my shower, it's in my counter, it's on this, it's in my makeup bag. Like I have stuff everywhere. And so I always post about that for a week. So talking like it's a consistency, even like obviously when you work your business, consistency is what gets you results. That's the same thing with what's going to get people to buy from you. They need to see you being consistently using the same product over and over and over. And finally they're gonna be like, okay, what does this coffee taste like? Or okay, can I mix it with this? Or how much weight did you lose? And like ask random questions. All the customers that I got, literally that post, I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, but I posted a picture of me holding the keto coffee and like my stomach was showing and it just like, I've lost a lot of weight with our coffee. And I got so many numbers from that because I've been talking about it every day. And they're like, okay, I've been watching you post about this keto coffee every day. I have to know what it is. If I wouldn't have never posted about it, like that's where a lot of people, they're like promoting and they randomly decide they're going to promote and they're like, okay, I can't get any customers. I'm like, because you haven't posted about anything for 6 months. You can't expect people to come to you because they don't even know what you're selling. They know you're a rap girl, but that doesn't help. So talking about the products every single day is so important. But with Instagram algorithms, a big thing, when you get customer or likes, nope, not the right word, comments on your Instagram picture within the first hour of it being posted, it gets bumped to the top. So we have bump groups on Instagram. So like if you add like 10 of your, I think you can only add 10 in a group, but you can add 10 of your leaders that post every single, don't add people that are not going to post because they're not going to bump anything because they're going to not post. So get your leaders in a chat, and every time you post, type posted. And so everyone will go to the picture and be like, OMG, so cute. OMG, down 10 pounds with keto coffee. And everyone comments something different. So then it's getting bumped because it's getting interaction right off the bat. And so if they like it and comment it, that's how we have tons of bump groups all over the place. And I'm very like on that, like anybody in my downline, or even like Lachelle, anything she posts, like I'm always the first one to comment on everybody's because I'm like, oh, bump, like, and I don't look at my notifications on Facebook either because they're always whack. Like there's just notifications everywhere because I comment on everyone's stuff. So that's the down part of it. But
you know how to turn off post notifications?
I do, but like it doesn't work. Like every post I comment on, I click turn off notifications for this post and I still get them. So I don't know. And I've even tried turning them off like through settings and I still get them. So I give up. But that's super important. It's just making sure like you're always commenting on people's stuff and taking the time because you would want comments on your stuff. So that helps a lot.
And that's a Instagram thing, just so you know, because Facebook works really different with that. When you comment on distributors' stuff, it actually puts them in more high in your visual. So yeah. Instagram, those bump things, we did it. I mean, there's still a bunch of, it's great. I need to get into Instagram world again. Okay. I just felt like it changed so fast on me that I was like, what happened? I left for a year. Like I literally stopped Instagramming when my mom stuff. And now when I came back, I'm like, why is everyone so pretty and everything's great in the world? Like I am just going to stick to Facebook. So tips for enrolling distributors. So you have already enrolled. Okay. It was 14, 2 days ago? Is it higher?
Yeah. I don't know where my binder is. It's somewhere.
So like either way, she's enrolled 14 or more distributors so far this month, and we haven't got our coupon codes yet, but I'm sure that you have a pre-enroll list. I have a pre-enroll list. So what okay, so I would say without a promotion, what are tips that you get for enrolling distributors? Do you message? I know that you don't message. It's all traction marketing. Yeah. It's creating curiosity. Maybe you want to touch on that a little bit and your mindset on that. And then with the promotion going on now, what are you doing for follow-ups?
Okay, so on that training we did for BIP, Jade messaged me after and she's like, OMG, why did you say you don't message for distributors? I do not message for them because when I did that, when I first got started, everyone that I got started that I messaged was like, what the hell is this? And didn't do anything with it. Because if someone doesn't come to you out of desperation for money, they're not going to have a desperation to work this. That's the way that I see it. So I want people that come to me and they're like, oh, I need this, rather than me messaging them and they're like, oh yeah, I want some extra money. There's a big difference. So I make sure that the way I see it, if I'm not enrolling customers and I'm not enrolling distributors, I'm not doing my job. I'm not putting out quality content. I'm not putting out visually appealing stuff. I'm not being raw enough in what I'm saying. So if you're not enrolling distributors, step it up, because there's something that you're not doing that you need to do. And so I post a live post every day on Instagram, like I told y'all. I've never not done that. So I post a picture and I say, just the beginning of this caption, well, this was about people being rude to me. I said, everyone has an opinion, so you do you. You think I'm crazy for all that I do. You don't really understand how I make 5 figures a month from all the posts that you keep seeing. I'm sure I'm about to earn a $25,000 bonus because I just do it instead of being skeptical. If you don't have a story to tell yet, you're writing one. So talk about what you're going to do with this business. When I got started, I talked about going diamond and earning that $5,000 bonus so much that I annoyed myself. I talked about it so much. And every single post, I was like, oh, and I'm earning a $5,000 bonus this month. So everyone was coming to me and they're like, hey, I saw you earn this $5,000 bonus. I didn't earn it yet, but they thought I did because they don't know. They just know that I talked about it every day. And then when I went diamond, they were like, well, I thought you already went diamond because I talked about it so much. And I get people like that all the time. And they're like, well, I don't post live posts to get distributors because I don't have a story to tell. Well, do you think that any of us did? I had to get here somehow. So make sure you're telling a story, even if it's not written yet. So talk about, if you've gone to the grocery store, I know someone on this Zoom has gone to the grocery store and had to put things back because you couldn't afford what you put in your basket. Talk about that. People don't want to see you earning. I thought when I went double diamond or when I went triple that I got that $15,000 bonus, that people would just flock to me, and they didn't, because $15,000 bonus is not realistic. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see me going to buy a Louis or buy a Range Rover or buy a brand new house. They don't want to see that because they can't do that. They want to see the fact that you put groceries back. They want to see that they've done that too. You put in gas. I get so many potential distributors when I post a story of me filling up my gas tank. That is realistic because so many people cannot fill up their gas tank. So stop worrying about these bonuses and all the stuff that you haven't done yet, because they don't care about that. They want to see what you are going to do. So if you're going for Ruby, I'm about to make $500 a month from my phone and get a $1,000 bonus. If you don't get it, you shot it out there and you probably got potential distributors from it, even if you didn't promote. So make sure that if you're not enrolling distributors, you kind of look at yourself and say, okay, am I putting quality photos out there? Am I putting really quality captions about what I'm doing with this business or what I've had to go through to get here? And when I do enroll distributors, they come to me and they're like, okay, I've been seeing your post. I've been seeing you make this money. I've been seeing you do this for so long. And a lot of it's consistency. They're not going to join somebody that never talks about it, because then you're not happy with what you're doing. I talk about what I'm doing every day so they know that I love what I do. And that is a big deal. And especially with the branding yourself thing, making sure you're talking about things that you love. Like if you love dogs, there's like 2 girls on my team that literally go to animal shelters all the freaking time and post about it. And they love dogs. And that's what they attract. All of the girls on their team are the same way. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get. So make sure that what you're putting out there is quality. It's like reality, and it's what people would want to see.
I love you. You're such a young, you have like, you have so much wisdom and you're so young. What sign are you? Sorry, off subject really quick.
What sign am I?
Yeah.
Libra.
Okay. Okay. So are you, and then for the $20 promotion, like, so $20 promotion, are you, I mean, are you working your potentials list or are you going for new ones?
Okay, so I have sticky fingers about that one. To me, if I had to sit there, and we've had a $20 deal before. We've also had $49 deal, and all these wackos that I've been following up with since December of 2016, and they're like, I can't find $20. I don't want them on my team, because if you have to beg them to join for $20, you're gonna have to beg them to work, and I'm not a beggar. So I am only following up with the ones that have talked to me that are like, really close to joining, or they couldn't afford the $99 and I haven't told them that it was $20 before because they're a new potential. I'm following up with those, and the rest can just come to me because I'm not messaging you again. Like all the potentials that I've had that I literally was like, hey, do you want to join for $20 when it was $20 in July, and they didn't join? Bye. I'm over you. You can find $20 in your couch cushions. I don't want to hear it. So I have a list of all the people that I've followed up with and said like, hey, I'll read you. I have a script. It's super simple and short, so you won't get bored listening to me talk about it. Okay, so it says, hey girl, would you join if it was only $20? And then if they say yes, you say, so for the first time ever in 48 hours from now, our CEO just announced that if you sign up, you get a special code to sign up for only $20. Are you in? And then it says, so I need to know, honestly, are you going to be all in with this? I send voice messages at this point because I'm a voice message kind of girl. So I just send like, hey, I have only 20 spots, and I'm not going to deal with the fact if you join this business and don't do a single thing and you take that spot from somebody who was completely willing to bust their butt. So if you don't think that you're going to sit there and join this business and put 50, I believe if I put 50% into you, you can put 50% into me. So if they don't agree with that, which nobody's going to not agree with it, but you can tell by the way they're talking to you if they genuinely want that $20 spot. Like I have girls that are texting me and they're like, hey, don't give away my spot. Hey, I really need that spot. And then there's some girls that are like not texting me at all. I don't want them on my team. So I want those people that are go-getters that are going to sit there and take a $20 business and turn it into what I have. So I just did that voice message because it's personal. It's like, hey, are you going to do something with this, or are you going to waste someone's spot that, really needed this more than you? And so I just have been doing that, and I've not been following up with people that have left me on red for years and years, even when I told them it was $20 in July. And then I posted about it on my story, and so I've had a couple people that were like, okay, I've been watching for a long time, and this is like my sign. So I have a list of that, but I'm also not trying to fill them up fast. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh my God, I have 20 spots for $20. Don't ruin it and get 20 people who don't give a crap. Get that 20 spots for people that are like, okay, I really want to do this. And obviously I'm not going to be like, no, you can't join this because I don't think you're going to do it. You can vibe that, and I just won't reply to the people that I don't think that genuinely will. But also make sure you really are paying attention to that, because you could just completely screw yourself out of getting an ambassador diamond or something, somebody that really wants it. So, but I do have my list, and I have that message of just saying like, hey, would you join? If they say yeah, I say I need people that are serious. If they're like, yeah, I send them a voice message again to reiterate that I'm serious. I need like 50-50 back. And then I'm just going with that. And I hope that these codes come in quick, because I'm ready.
I love that, guys. Like, here's the thing. These type of promotions really prune out who's wasting your time. And being, a lot of times we're like, I'm afraid to lose a potential. No, they should be afraid to lose you wanting them on your team. Okay, that's what they should be afraid of. Because here's the thing, there are millions and billions of people out there. All right, there are other people that want this business that don't know about it yet, that might not be able to afford the $100, but can afford the $20. I have on this Zoom right now 999ers that could not afford the $100, but they are still here because they wanted this business and they joined for $9.99. Okay, so and I love that I love the way that your mentality is on that. And also, guys, you don't have to give them out to everyone, because you have all of October and all of November to use these codes. So they should be like gold to you. This is for the people that really want this, that can't afford it. I've even thought about the thought process of, like, I'm gonna obviously post about it, but when it gets into November, if I'm running low, I'm not gonna post about it anymore, because if people can join for $100, then they can join for $100. But those people that can't join for $100 but really want it, I want a couple coupon codes where I can be like, well, you know what? I'm going to do something for you then. Okay. So, what is your kind of, I know that we're almost done here, but I'm just going to like throw these through.
I'm not in a rush.
Okay. Well, I know you're pushing for press, so I know every hour matters. So with a bunch of new distributors coming in, like signing that many, I've never been a mass enroller of distributors, but that's probably because I have like severe anxiety, OCD. Like I can only take, I feel like I can take on like 8 a month is like good for me. Obviously I've enrolled more, but what is your system there? Do you have some type of system in place for launching distributors? Can you kind of go over that?
Yeah, so I have a script that everyone on my team has, and so it just goes through the basics. The very first thing is obviously accepting their tax forms in eSuite, because I am like OCD about that. I cannot stand to see the words commission hold on my downline orders. It drives me bonkers. So I have them accept their tax forms in eSuite, and then I ask them their why. I say, okay, why'd you join this business? They tell me why, so that when they try to quit on me in a week and say like, oh, this is too hard, I'm like, oh wait, you're gonna give up on your kids and have to tell them no because you don't have money because you gave up because it's too hard? Really? Very red. I do not deal with that. So if they come to me, I'm like, oh, well, you told me that you were like on food stamps and couldn't afford anything. Why are you quitting? This is not hard. So I send voice messages for that too. So I do that, and then I ask them to make a dirt list. So it's 30 people on their dirt list of people who would support you and buy dirt from you just because they love you. And so I have that, and I call it my dirt list. So they send me 30 people. It used to be 100, but I feel like that's kind of overwhelming. So I have 30 people. And then a lot of people at that point, they either send it to me or they don't send it to me. And I message them and I'm like, hey, if you can't come up with 30 people, it's okay. It does not mean you're not going to be successful. Because a lot of people think that when they can't send you their potentials list, that they don't have enough people to talk to. But they don't understand that they're about to blow up because social media. So I always send that, and then they'll send me their list, and then I send them a simple message to send to their friends and family. And I say, okay, send this to everyone on your list and send me a screenshot. I walk them through all of their conversations. It is really stressful when you have a ton of distributors sending you conversations, but that's where text replacement comes in. Text replacement is my whole freaking life. Everything, even like messaged you or I'm sending you a message, is all in my text replacement, and I remember them all because I use them so much. So I have all of that in there, and so I'll just reply to all of them with descriptions, with prices, all of that stuff, because I have templates for it all. And then I send them, I made a training video. So it's a new distributor training. It goes over like their first 5 customers, getting their shopping spree, just all the basics, making your first post on Instagram, making your list, making sure you like talk to your upline every single day. So it's just like the very basics. I think it's like 12 minutes long. If it's any longer, you're not going to have good retention rate because they're not going to finish it. So I sent them that video at the very end. And then after that, it's just, I'm a big thing. My list is in the living room on my like hibernation couch where I've been the whole week. I have like a list like this, and I just write down all of my distributors and that I've enrolled in the past 30 days, and I put 5 columns. And so every customer they enroll, I check it. I know there's a tracker in eSuite, but I'm very visual and I like to see it in front of me and be able to tangibly touch it. So I just make a list, and every customer that they enroll, I put a check mark, because not only is that their shopping spree, it's my $100 bonus. And if you're anything above diamond and above, it's a lot more money than that. So you're not willing to miss out. So I have that list, I check it off, I make sure that I'm like checking in with them, and that list holds me accountable on who I've enrolled. Sounds really awful, but when you enroll a bunch of distributors, you don't know who the heck you enrolled. And I definitely get that point every month, because I enroll probably over 10 distributors every month, and I don't know who they are at the point of like who's messaging me, and plus you kind of forget about them because they stop messaging you. So that list holds me really accountable by making sure I'm checking in with them, I'm asking them what they need help with, and there comes to a point where some of those distributors like don't message you back. They just like ghost you. I don't do that. I will FaceTime them. I'll send them long voice messages, but I don't send them text messages. I don't sit there and say like, hey girl, did you message today? Hey girl, you haven't posted, because they know that. They're just not going to sit there and admit it to you. So I just say like, hey girl, I know you haven't posted today, but here's a post for you to use like as an example, and let's throw this up in the next 5 minutes. So you're giving them an objective to do, because a lot of times when new distributors are brand new, they don't know what's expected of them because they've never done something like this. So have grace with that and understand that they quit. Some people do things differently. Like when I got started, my upline didn't have to text me, I texted her. But there's some people that are not like that. It's going to take things slower. They kind of need direction. Send them a post, send them an example. Make sure you're like calling them and saying, hey, are you discouraged? It's okay. I'm not a robot. I've been through all of this before. Just being like transparent to them, and like not just acting like you're some diamond leader or some triple diamond leader that knows the whole thing, because that's how they feel about you. So make sure you're being really, really personal and like transparent to them about what you've done and how you got to where you were.
I love that. And it is like, it's one of those things where, well, okay, so let me ask you this. Do you feel as if, we try to be as available as we possibly can, but in some way, I try to always make it known, please come to me, because I am such a motivated person that like, I never need help I don't ask for help, and I never like seek help. I'm always like, I'll figure it out myself. And so do you ever like say that to them? Because you're enrolling so many people. Are you explaining them to like, come to me, please come to me? Because I don't know. I mean, I put in my welcome email. I'm always saying like, I'm available 28/5. You're never bothering me. If you don't feel like you're bothering me, you're not talking enough. And then still, I don't get texts like ever. Do you like really like express that so that because when you say I forget, it's because, we want you guys to come, like how you just said, guys, listen to me. If you are on here right now and you have not talked to your upline this week, and you were like, I don't know, maybe she doesn't like me, or I don't want to bother her. We're like, hello, where are you? We want to talk to you. Just what she just said. Her upline did not have to reach out to her. She was asking her questions. You are not bothering us at all. We want you to talk to us, and we're not writing you off if we're not talking to you. We know what it's like. People have moved to Africa. Not really, but people have signed up and been kidnappers. And so we don't know where your mentality is. Like, can you just kind of like touch on that just as a general thing?
I know for a fact that if you enrolled under somebody that is texting you, that's telling you they're available, they're running for a promotion. And if you're not texting them and you're not like letting them know the work you're putting in, they're going to choose somebody else to work with that is talking to them. When I'm going through promotions and I have somebody that is ready, that's sending me screenshots, that's texting me, that's asking me questions, I'm going to work with them and help them reach their promotion before I'm going to work with somebody that's not sending me a single text message. Because I don't know where your intentions are. I don't know if you're working or what you're doing or like anything, because you're not talking to me. And so I do know that a lot of people feel so annoyed, but like, that's my job. That's what I do every single day, especially now that I don't do anything else. Like, I want you to talk to me because I enrolled you. You trusted me, so I need to trust that you are going to work with me. So especially if you're on here too and you're new, don't be that person. Don't be that person that doesn't text your leader because you're afraid to annoy them. What do you think they're there for? If they're not there to help you, then why'd you enroll under them?
All right. So we're going to go through these chat in a second. We're almost done. All right. Implementing duplication, kind of just touching on implementing duplication. What do you think helps most getting people excited and staying excited? Kind of like just establishing the energy and then maintaining the energy kind of. And then we know the speed of the leader is the pace of the pack. And so how do you stay motivated and then kind of just light that fire down in your team?
So I've had a lot of people ask me this question because I went from, in January, my paycheck was $328 to a few months ago and it being over $15,000. So a lot of people were just like, okay, what the heck did you do? And I don't know. But what I do know is that I love the crap out of my team. Like I said, I'm that person that's always like, hey, I'm FaceTiming you because I haven't heard from you. Like, I'm just very, always on it, always calling them, always being that person where they know that they can be my friend before they're my business partner. And I think that is so important because you can't run a successful business with somebody that you don't know them. Like, you don't know their heart. You don't know like what they've gone through. So stuff like that, I make sure that I'm like always loving on my team. And I think that's important because when I first got started, I was a bulldozer. I was like, oh, hi, you're not working, so you're not making me money. Bye. And like, I didn't notice that then at all. I had no idea, but I'd also never been in anything like this. So I didn't know that's how I was being. Then once I lost rank and I regained it, I realized like, okay, now my business is strong and it's because I'm completely different than I was then. So if you realize that and your team isn't necessarily working with you and you kind of feel like you're in a dead spot right now, you're not loving them enough. You're not putting enough into them to where they feel like they should be working. So make sure that you're loving them and you're being a friend rather than just their leader and a business partner, because that goes such a long way. Just like those friends that never text you and you always have to text them first, that's not a good friendship and that's not something you're going to depend on them for. But if they're ones that are showing up for you too, then you want to be friends with them. And then you want to make that extra effort to be like, hey, do you want to hang out today, when they've never asked you? So that goes a long way in your business. I've never not posted about my business. I've never not posted on my story. I've never not gone live, and I've never like not been on a power hour or on a Zoom that our like leaders have posted. So my team knows that I'm going to show up. So they know that that's what's expected of them. If you're a leader and you're like, hey, get on the Zoom, and you don't show up because you have things to do, they're not going to hop on either because they have things to do. So if you like, I can't tell you how many things I've sacrificed, how many things I haven't done. I've missed vacations with my friends. My boyfriend went on a vacation when I went triple and I couldn't go because I was going triple. Yeah, there's a lot of things I would much rather do, but there's not what I'm doing now and the things that I got to do and the amount of money I'm making and the amount of teams that I have that's winning, that's not worth it to me. So making sacrifices and making sure that you're showing up as a leader and doing everything that you expect of your team to do, because if you're expecting them to do things that you're not doing, you're going everywhere but up.
I just love you. So I'm going to go through this before I ask you the last question. Let me see here. So I saw that there was a question on some apps that you talked about. So can you just repeat the apps slower, because they're like, oh my God, so many apps, she talks so fast. Can you repeat the apps that you use?
Yes. So I use PixArt for like photo overlays of emails and stuff. I use WordSwag for like captions, welcome post, promotional stuff. PicTapGo is a really good photo editing stuff if you don't necessarily want to spend money on a preset. I've used PicTapGo the whole time I've been in the business for filters. Cut Story is for Snapchat. That makes the 15-second videos. Over is a really cute font app. You have to pay for a lot of the fonts, but some of the fonts that are free are pretty cute too. Unfold is what I make all of my stories on. Canva is what I make all my highlights and stuff on, and like use that for cute things and like images.
And then you guys had questions on Lightroom. So Lightroom is an Adobe app, and what a preset is that you can buy. So it's like bloggers create like presets, or like people that are like editors create presets, and they're cheap. You can get like 10 for like $15 or something. And what you do is like, it's like a download, and you upload it into Lightroom, and then it's a filter. It's like if you ever go to someone's Instagram profile and it's like all their pictures have like the same filter, and you're like, why do all these pictures look so beautiful? It's because they use Lightroom, and it's a preset. So it's a preset filter that adjusts all of their pictures.
I don't know if y'all can see that, but all the pictures have like the same like golden, like green tones to them.
Yeah.
So I bought my preset. I bought 4 of them for $14 off of Etsy. So
yeah. And then let me see what else here. Do you have a Fat Fighter host a post?
No.
Neither do I.
That BB is too low.
There you go. Okay, so All right, so last question, and I love asking leaders this as the last question. And I want,
I'm stressed.
Don't be stressed. Don't be stressed. But I want you to, when you're answering this question, though, I want you to think like today wise. Like I want you to think today, and I don't want you to think about like the beginning of Diamond or like all whatever the biggest thing. But if you could tell the girl that joined you, if this girl right now was just looking on a FaceTime to the girl that joined, what would you tell to her? And like, what would you tell to her? Why would you tell that to her? And kind of what kind of direction would you give her?
Wow. Well, what I always preach to my team, and the number one thing that I always say is literally being consistent will reap you the harvest of so many things forever and always. So what you do now may not produce results right now, but a year from now, you're going to be enrolling on like steroids from what you've been doing every day to that point. So if you get started and you feel like no one's buying and everyone's telling you no, and the family you thought would support you isn't supporting you, or the friends that blocked you on social media because they thought your posts are annoying, or, you know, whatever, all the no's you're getting, I can't tell you how many times, especially this month, that I've enrolled customers that told me no the very first time that I've messaged them. And I always, when I enroll a customer, is scroll up to the top, see when I message them, and I find so much freaking joy because I'm like, I am so consistent. Wow, go Cheyenne. Because I post it every day about what I do because I'm so passionate about it. And then at that point, I may not have been making money and I may have got discouraged, but I was so consistent every day that I've like gotten to where I am now because I've literally enrolled customers from the very beginning because I've been consistent since day one. So making sure you're posting consistently, you're messaging consistently, you're getting new people to your page consistently. Because like I always say, if you're not enrolling distributors, you're not being consistent with your life posts. If you're not enrolling customers, you're not being consistent with those daily keto coffee posts. If you're not like keeping your distributors, you're not being consistent to show them, to set the pace for them. So consistency is key because that will be paying you for the rest of the time that you're in this business from what you do right now.
You're gonna be top 50. Because I have seen
I hope so.
a pattern of this answer, and the people that make it to the top are the ones that realize that this business is front loaded. It is front loaded from the day you join to today. The work that we are putting in this month, where you might work so hard. Like I worked so hard in the beginning of this business guide to the point where like it wasn't fair what I was getting paid. But that work that I did then is what I'm being paid for today, 3 years later. Like when I'm saying slept 4 hours a night, literally like blood, sweat, and tears, like messaging 100 people a day. I don't do that anymore, but I'm being paid for that work back then. This business is so front loaded and it all comes down to consistency. And I see a pattern of people that answer that question when people understand that, that's when you will reap the harvest, guys. It's like planting a seed. When you plant a real seed, does it just turn into a flower? No, it takes a long time for a tree to get big and strong. And, you know, you got to think about that. So,
I started that way and I wasn't making a lot of money right off the bat. And I was kind of like, oh, wow, like I'm putting a lot of work in this. I'm not making a lot of money. And I see it happen with my team all the time. People get to Ruby and they never do anything else. And I'm like, just freaking wait. Like, you don't even know, girl, like what is coming? Because like I said, my paycheck in January was a whole $300. And I was living off of like keto coffee and fast starts because that's all I was making money on. And then now next month, I'm about to make over $20,000. I've manifested. That's how I know. So,
and she's 20 and she's 20 years old.
So crazy. You're not making any money right now. Just wait.
Yep. Okay, well, you were just a doll. I appreciate you so much for your time. Can we get her some snaps? We need to get her some good luck snaps because she is running for Prez this month, and we are all over here snapping for you, and I cannot wait to congratulate you for Prez. You deserve it so much. You have such this old wisdom. It's so beautiful, and you're going to inspire so many people along the way, but you're just proof that, like, God, you're just a proof of so much. I have so many things to say to you, but thank you so much for your time. This was awesome. And I'll also give you the recording of this just in case you want to give this to your team, because you know what? Stuff like this you want your team to see because this is your mindset and this is speaking to the masses. That's something I can give you like the best advice ever. What you gave to us tonight, show your team that you gave this to somebody else's team tonight because they will listen to you more.
Yeah.
For real. All right. Bye,
Good luck,
guys.
everyone.